Subaru just dropped a bombshell. The CEO steps on stage and says, "We're launching a $15,000 small truck." Immediately, jaws drop. This isn't some concept tease. This is real. And it's bold. You might think cheap truck equals to cheap compromise, but that's where Subaru flips the script. First, the pricing is revolutionary. For decades, trucks have carried premium tax tags. Subaru says, "We're democratizing it. You don't need to be wealthy to own a pickup anymore." That alone shakes up the auto world. Next, what's in the box? Subaru promises all-wheel drive capability, off-road grit, and utility, wrapped in a compact footprint. No oversized monster, but a perfectly balanced workhorse for urban adventurers. It gives you the freedom of a truck, without the bulk or cost. Then, performance and efficiency. The CEO teases a hybrid or electrified variant, delivering solid range and torque, enough to tow gear, carry camping supplies, or haul weekend cargo. Subaru's making sure it's not just a gimmick. Safety hasn't been ignored. It needs to pull its weight. EyeSight driver assist, modern crash structure, and adaptive features. Subaru insists, even at $15,000, you'll get cutting-edge protection. No corners cut where lives are concerned. This shift is also strategic. Subaru wants to win youth, budget buyers, and expand into markets where small pickups thrive. Asia, Latin America, emerging markets. A $15,000 truck opens doors. It's a volume play, a brand play, a gamble on democratizing rugged mobility. Reaction, astonishment. Traditional OEMs are forced to stare. Enthusiasts are excited. Can they do it without losing margins? But that's exactly the tension Subaru wants. Now, the challenges: scaling manufacturing, sourcing cheap but quality parts, balancing features versus cost. Subaru must thread a needle. Any cost overrun could kill the margin. They also need distribution, after-sales support, and parts infrastructure in new markets. But Subaru's history of AWD and ruggedness gives them credibility. They're not naive. They've earned trust in rough terrain, snow, and latent durability. This isn't a startup punt. It's Subaru leaning into their strengths. This announcement doesn't just rewrite price brackets. It changes expectations. A small, capable, safe AWD truck for 15 grand? That's the kind of twist that forces competitors to rethink or get left behind. So buckle in, because the automotive world just got a jolt. The next few months, Subaru will reveal specs, markets, timeline. Will they deliver? Will margins hold? Can the engineering live up to the hype? We're about to find out. And I'll be here to cover every angle. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Subaru isn't just tossing out a cheap truck to grab headlines. They're strategically positioning this as a gateway vehicle, a way to bring in first-time buyers, younger drivers, and even those who've never owned a pickup before. Think about it. A small, reliable, fuel-efficient Subaru truck that costs less than most used SUVs. It's genius. It fills a gap nobody else has touched since compact trucks disappeared from American roads. The design philosophy behind it reportedly blends Subaru's Crosstrek DNA with the utility of the old Baja. That means we could be looking at something that feels sporty, adventure-ready, and still practical enough for daily life. The CEO even hinted at customizable cargo solutions, modular bed options, storage drawers, and roof systems built for camping, biking, or overlanding. Subaru knows its crowd: outdoorsy, loyal, and allergic to boring vehicles. But the real kicker? Subaru's rumored to be developing it on a new lightweight global platform, capable of supporting both hybrid and full EV powertrains. That opens doors for future versions. Imagine a plug-in or fully electric $20,000 variant a few years down the road. It's the kind of flexibility automakers crave, and Subaru might have cracked the code early. What makes this even more of a mic drop moment is the timing. Truck prices have exploded over the past 5 years. Entry-level Tacomas, Mavericks, and Colorados all push $30,000 or more. Even the so-called budget options are out of reach for most buyers. Subaru stepping in at half that price? That's not competition. That's disruption. Analysts are already calling this Subaru's Maverick moment, except even bolder. Remember when Ford shocked the market with a small truck? Subaru's doing the same thing, but aiming even lower and smarter. They're betting that the future of trucks isn't about horsepower wars or chrome overloads. It's about affordability, versatility, and lifestyle connection. And here's the detail everyone's buzzing about. The CEO mentioned that production is being planned for both Japan and North America. That means Subaru is thinking scale. They're not testing the waters. They're diving in. If they manage to localize production, keep costs under control, and maintain Subaru's trademark reliability, they could own this niche before anyone else wakes up. Enthusiasts are already speculating what it'll be called. Whatever they choose, it's clear Subaru's about to reintroduce something the market's been missing for decades: a small, honest, rugged truck that doesn't cost a fortune. And here's where things start to heat up even more. Rumors suggest Subaru's been quietly testing prototypes under heavy camouflage, possibly sharing components with the next-generation Crosstrek hybrid. And that's where the puzzle pieces really start to connect. If Subaru is indeed using the Crosstrek's hybrid platform as a foundation, that means this small truck could come with instant credibility. Proven AWD systems, a solid chassis, and hybrid efficiency that's already been road-tested globally. That's not just smart engineering, that's cost-saving brilliance. Subaru doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. They're repurposing what already works and scaling it for a new audience. Reports suggest the prototype has been spotted with a short bed design, about 4 feet long, and a crew cab layout, enough for 4 passengers. Compact, but not cramped. Perfect for daily drives and weekend adventures. It's the kind of setup that appeals to people who want the spirit of a truck without the bulk of a full-size pickup. Think urban dwellers who camp on weekends, small business owners, or anyone tired of oversized gas guzzlers. Even more surprising, the CEO hinted that manual transmission might still be an option on base models. Yes, you heard that right. In a world where manuals are vanishing, Subaru might keep the driver's connection alive. That alone will score huge points with enthusiasts and traditionalists. And it doesn't stop there. Subaru's engineers reportedly focused on keeping the weight under 3,000 pounds, which is remarkable for a truck. That's how they can hit strong fuel economy numbers and still keep it nimble on city roads. Lightweight construction means better handling, better braking, and less wear on parts, all adding to long-term reliability, which Subaru owners swear by. Inside, early design leaks suggest a simple yet modern interior. Cloth seats on base trims, durable surfaces, large knobs for easy control, even with gloves on, and a clean digital cluster. The infotainment system? A smaller version of Subaru's Starlink setup, still supporting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. Nothing flashy, but everything functional. Subaru knows its core buyers. They don't want screens that distract, they want tools that work. But what's really sending waves through the industry is how Subaru plans to price this truck below $15,000. The secret? They're cutting unnecessary luxury costs, reducing trim complexity, and streamlining production. Only a few configurations, limited color options, and shared parts from existing Subaru models. That's how they keep it lean. It's not about cutting quality, it's about cutting clutter. The move also positions Subaru as a brand that listens to the market, not just chases trends. While everyone's racing to make $60,000 EVs that few can afford, Subaru is aiming straight at reality, the average driver who just wants something practical, affordable, and reliable. It's a statement against the industry's obsession with luxury inflation. And you can feel the ripple effects already. Other automakers are watching closely. Ford with its Maverick, Toyota with its rumored Corolla-based pickup, and even Hyundai with the Santa Cruz are all suddenly under pressure. Because if Subaru can pull this off at $15,000, then the entire pickup segment is about to be flipped upside down. Imagine the chaos in boardrooms right now. Executives scrambling, analysts running cost models, and engineers asking, how did Subaru make that math work? It's the kind of disruptive move that forces every automaker to go back to the drawing board. Because, let's be honest, the pickup market has gotten bloated. Prices are skyrocketing, trucks are oversized, and affordable has become a joke. Subaru just walked in and said, "We can give you what you actually need, not what marketing says you need." And that message is landing loud and clear with everyday buyers. The buzz online is electric. Forums are exploding with speculation, early renderings, and debates over what engine it'll use. Some say Subaru's going to equip it with a 1.8-liter turbocharged boxer engine, tuned for torque and fuel efficiency. Others think they'll go hybrid from day one, leveraging Toyota's hybrid tech partnership. Either way, one thing's clear. Subaru's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. There's also a bigger mission here. Subaru wants to rebuild its reputation as the brand for the real world. Not flashy, not corporate, but genuine. They want to capture the spirit of the old Subaru Brat and Baja. Quirky, capable, unpretentious vehicles that carved their own lane. And now, with a new generation of buyers craving simplicity and affordability, the timing couldn't be better. Industry insiders are calling this a return to form for Subaru. While most car makers chase EV luxury buyers, Subaru is targeting the working class, students, and outdoor adventurers, the people who actually use their vehicles as tools, not status symbols. And that's why this announcement is resonating so deeply. It's not just a truck, it's a philosophy shift. We're also hearing whispers that Subaru could launch a rugged off-road trim, possibly called the Wilderness Truck. Imagine that. Lifted suspension, skid plates, all-terrain tires, and Subaru's full symmetrical AWD system, all still priced under $20K. That would obliterate every rival in its class. It would be the first truly affordable adventure truck of the modern era. And here's the kicker. Dealerships reportedly can't wait. Pre-interest lists are already forming in the US and Canada, even before official specs drop. That's how starved people are for something like this. When was the last time a small, simple pickup got this much hype before even being shown? Not since the first-generation Maverick, and even that didn't promise a $15K entry price. But here's where things take a wild turn. Multiple insiders claim Subaru's been in talks with Toyota to co-develop certain drivetrain components for this project. That could mean shared hybrid systems, joint battery supply, or even shared assembly lines. It makes sense. Toyota owns a small stake in Subaru, and their collaborations in recent years, like the BRZ and GR86, have been smooth and successful. If Toyota's involved, this little truck might be far more advanced than anyone expects. And that partnership could be the ace up Subaru's sleeve. Think about it. Toyota brings hybrid mastery, global supply networks, and scale. Subaru brings brand trust, AWD expertise, and rugged identity. Together, they could produce something the market hasn't seen in decades, a compact truck that's both efficient and fun. It wouldn't just compete with the Ford Maverick, it could redefine what a small truck should be. Rumors are swirling that Toyota's involvement could also mean access to the TNGA platform, modified to fit Subaru's signature symmetrical AWD layout. That's a big deal. It means stronger rigidity, better safety ratings, and compatibility with hybrid and EV powertrains. Subaru could plug its Boxer engine or hybrid system into Toyota's modular platform and save millions in R&D costs. That's exactly how they can hit that unbelievable $15,000 price point. But what's fascinating is how this move aligns with global market trends. Across Asia, South America, and Eastern Europe, small trucks dominate. They're workhorses for farmers, delivery drivers, and everyday families. Subaru knows that capturing those regions with a budget-friendly, reliable truck could double their global footprint. They're not just thinking US or Japan, they're thinking world domination in the small utility segment. And that's why this truck announcement feels so seismic. Because Subaru isn't just reviving a forgotten body style, they're trying to start a movement. A movement away from excess, back toward functionality. Away from chrome and luxury, back toward utility and value. The CEO's exact words during the reveal were simple but powerful. We believe everyone should be able to afford adventure. That single line sent chills through the crowd. It perfectly captured Subaru's mission, to make capability accessible. Not just for the rich, not just for niche enthusiasts, but for anyone who wants freedom on wheels. And that mission is resonating across generations. Gen Z and millennials are the most price-conscious buyers today, and they're tired of vehicles that feel unreachable. A $15,000 truck, reliable, fuel-efficient, and ready for anything, speaks directly to them. It's not about horsepower bragging rights, it's about practicality, freedom, and self-expression. Subaru just tapped into a cultural shift that other automakers have completely missed. The question now is, how soon can they deliver? Sources close to Subaru claim that testing is already in late prototype phase, with production expected to start in 2026. That's lightning fast in automotive development terms. And if that timeline holds, pre-orders could open within a year. The anticipation is already off the charts, and Subaru hasn't even officially shown the truck yet. And here's a twist that caught everyone off guard. Insiders say Subaru may debut the truck first in emerging markets like Thailand and Mexico, before bringing it to North America. That's a strategic masterstroke. It lets them fine-tune production, gather feedback, and build hype before hitting the US and Canadian markets with full force. By the time it arrives stateside, it'll have proven reliability and global buzz behind it. And that strategy might just make it unstoppable. Because by launching first in those regions, Subaru can stress test the truck in real-world conditions, rough roads, extreme weather, and demanding workloads, before fine-tuning it for North American buyers. That's how you build credibility. It's old-school product testing with a modern twist, and it shows Subaru isn't rushing to cash in. They're building something to last. And once it hits the US market, the impact could be explosive. Imagine dealerships across the country offering a brand new, all-wheel drive Subaru truck starting at $15,000. No gimmicks, no stripped-down nonsense, just a solid, honest vehicle that people can actually afford. It would instantly undercut every competitor by miles. Ford Maverick starts near 30 grand. Hyundai Santa Cruz? Even higher. Subaru would own the entry-level truck market overnight. Industry experts are already saying that if Subaru delivers on this promise, it could spark a new wave of affordable vehicle development. It would force other automakers to rethink their entire pricing structures. Suddenly, profit margins would have to make room for accessibility. Subaru might actually reignite a new, small truck era, one that prioritizes value over vanity. But what's really wild is how Subaru's fanbase is reacting. Online communities are overflowing with excitement. People are calling it the return of the brat, the working man's truck, even the new icon of affordable adventure. Artists are already posting renderings, some showing retro-inspired front ends with round LED headlights, chunky tires, and short beds that scream personality. Others imagine a futuristic compact ute with sharp lines and digital Subaru badging. Either way, the anticipation feels electric, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. Truck buyers today are fed up. Fuel prices are unpredictable, full-size models are impossible to park, and everything feels over-designed. Subaru's small truck represents a reset button for the segment. It's a reminder that not everyone needs 400 horsepower or a 12-inch infotainment screen. Some just need a reliable companion to get the job done. Behind the scenes, it said Subaru has been laser-focused on manufacturing efficiency, using shared platforms, locally sourced materials, and simplified production lines. The company has reportedly studied the Toyota production model to eliminate waste, shorten build times, and optimize logistics. That's how you take a dream price point and make it real. And there's another layer to this: Subaru's environmental reputation. The CEO confirmed that this new small truck will be built in a carbon-neutral facility, following Subaru's zero landfill commitment. That means this won't just be affordable, it'll be one of the cleanest, most sustainable small vehicles on the planet. Subaru's betting that buyers want to feel good about what they drive, not just financially, but ethically too. But what really seals the deal is how Subaru's blending old and new philosophies. They're tapping into nostalgia, the rugged charm of the 80s Brat and Oro's Baja, while infusing modern efficiency and tech. It's a delicate balance, but Subaru seems to be pulling it off perfectly. The CEO even hinted at retro design touches returning, possibly inspired by the Brat's signature side decals and classic silhouette. And that little nostalgic wink could be what makes this truck irresistible. Because let's be honest, nostalgia sells, especially when it's wrapped in practicality. Subaru fans have been begging for a Brat revival for years, and this might finally be the modern interpretation everyone's been waiting for. If Subaru nails the styling, a mix of retro toughness and sleek modern minimalism, this truck could become an instant cult classic. The CEO reportedly said during internal previews that the design will feel familiar yet futuristic. Expect chunky plastic cladding, short overhangs, and roof rails integrated into a muscular silhouette. It's the kind of design language that says, I can handle mud, snow, or city streets, whatever you throw at me. And with Subaru's signature symmetrical all-wheel drive system, that promise isn't just aesthetic. It's real capability baked into the DNA. One insider described the prototype as a crosstrek that decided to hit the gym. slightly wider stance, more ground clearance, and a squared-off bed that still keeps proportions tight.